Welcome back, beautiful audience. Tonight we gather in the depths of a world that is unforgiving, a world where everything you have built can be torn down in an instant, where every decision carries weight beyond comprehension. Tonight, we confront a reality too many shy away from, too many hide from in the comfort of their delusions. But here, we stare it in the face. You closed the game. Now, they can't restart. You've done it. You've reached the edge, crossed the line, and sealed the fate of the game you once played. You were not the first to play it. You were not the only one to think it could be conquered. But when it mattered, when it counted, you were the one who had the guts to take it all the way. The others didn't. And now, as the dust settles, as the echoes of their failures ring hollow in the air, they realize they cannot rewind. They cannot hit a button to reset the clock. You've taken that option from them. That is your power. That is your strength. The world doesn't give second chances. No one is going to wait for you. Time will not pause for your mistakes or regrets. The world moves on, indifferent, cold, ruthless. It will keep turning with or without you. Those who couldn't make it are left behind, watching as the game continues without them. You, though, you've closed the door, you've locked it, thrown away the key, and now they are forced to watch you play a game that is forever beyond their reach. What they didn't understand, what they failed to grasp, is that there is no reset. There is no going back. Life is not a video game. There is no safe mode, no pause button, no easy way out when the pressure is too much. Every choice you make, every move you take, every step forward, it matters. And those who think they can always undo their mistakes, they will never know the power you hold. They will always be searching for something that doesn't exist. And you've already gone beyond it. They think they still have time to play, to try, to catch up. But the clock is ticking, and you're already finished. You've closed the game. You may wonder, what now? What do you do when the game is closed and they can't catch up? The answer is simple. You keep going. You don't stop. The moment you stop, the moment you let doubt creep in, that is when you lose. You've already played the hardest part, the part where others faltered, where others quit, where they failed to even take a step forward. That's where you won. You showed up, you stayed, you didn't stop. But now, the real test begins. It's no longer about playing the game. It's about what comes next. Because the moment you closed that door, you created a void. And in that void, there will be no rest. There will be no slowing down. You will be haunted by the remnants of those who couldn't keep up. Their whispers will echo in your mind. Their faces will remind you of the struggle they couldn't overcome. And if you are weak, if you allow yourself to slip, if you let their failures define you, you will fall. The game is over for them, but it is only just beginning for you. What you need to understand is that the road ahead is paved with fire and blood. It is not a road for the faint of heart. You close the game, but that decision has made you a target. The world doesn't like to see winners. It doesn't like to see someone rise above the rest. The moment you proved that you had the courage to close that door, to lock that gate, you invited the demons of doubt, fear, and hatred into your life. They will come for you, try to break you, try to make you question everything you have done. But you know the truth. You know that these demons have no power over you. They can bark, they can scream, they can throw their stones, but you've already crossed the line. You've already left them behind. You've already done what they could never even dream of doing. And now, they want to drag you back. They want to see you fall, to stumble, to make the same mistakes they did. But you're stronger than that. You've closed the game. And you know, deep down, they can't restart. Every moment that you spend looking behind you is a moment wasted. It's a moment that could have been spent moving forward. Keep your eyes fixed on what's ahead. Keep your gaze unwavering. Those who failed to make it, those who couldn't handle the pressure, are now irrelevant. They are ghosts of what could have been, whispers in the dark. And while they fade, you will rise. You will keep climbing because that's what winners do. They rise when the world tells them to fall. They rise when everything is stacked against them. You know what happens when you close the game. You know the consequences, the risk, the wait. You took it all. You made a choice. And now, they can only watch. There is no coming back for them. There is no turning back the clock. And if you let them bring you down to their level, if you let their doubts and their failures seep into your mind, you will be no better than they. But you're not like them. You never were. That's why you closed the game. You weren't afraid of what would happen when the door shut. You were ready. Ready for the wait. Ready for the pressure. You knew this was never going to be easy. And now, as you stand here, alone, in the silence of your own victory, you can feel it. You can feel the eyes of those who couldn't make it, watching you. But their eyes don't matter. Their judgment doesn't matter. Their failures don't matter. You are in control now. You are the one who holds the power. You have done what they couldn't. You've reached a place they will never touch. And that makes you dangerous. That makes you unstoppable. You've closed the game, and now the world is yours. You decide what happens next. You decide where you go from here. And let me tell you this, those who didn't make it will try to drag you down. They will try to break you, but they are powerless. They are nothing but shadows of what could have been. Keep your fire burning. Keep your drive alive. You've done what others could only dream of. And now, there's no turning back. You've crossed the line. And now, you must keep moving forward. Because in the end, when the game is closed, there is no reset. There is no restart. And only the strongest, the most determined, the most relentless will keep going. You've closed the game, and now they are the ones left behind. Never forget that. Never let anyone make you think differently. You've won. And now, it's time to keep winning. There is no going back. There is no stopping. The game is over for them. But for you, this is only the beginning. When you closed the game, it was not the end. It was the moment the world began to recognize your true strength. You see, closing the game isn't about shutting yourself off from the world. It isn't about retreating into the comfort of past victories. It's about asserting your place in this world and defining your future, your path, your destiny. The truth is, they thought they had time. They thought they had more chances. But you understood that there's no more time to waste. There's no room for hesitation. The moment you shut that door, you sent a message to the universe, to everyone watching, that you are a force to be reckoned with. Now the world is watching you. They're waiting for you to falter, to hesitate, to question yourself. But you're past that now. You've learned a hard truth. Your true power lies not in the game you just closed, but in the journey ahead. That journey will be filled with challenges that will test you in ways you can't even imagine. You will face forces, obstacles, and people who will try to break you. But that's the point. That's the price of greatness, and you're willing to pay it. In this moment, you have an incredible advantage. You've already seen what most of the world has failed to see. You've already realized that every step forward demands something more than just effort. It demands sacrifice. It demands focus. And most of all, it demands a willingness to confront the dark corners of your soul. When you closed the game, you didn't just walk away from your past mistakes. You embraced them. You stood tall, looked them in the eyes and said, "This is me. I own it." And that is the foundation of your future success. It's in your ability to look at your flaws, your failures, and turn them into the fuel that drives you forward. Because without them, you would never have been strong enough to close that door. The world, the people around you, will never understand this. They will never understand that the game was never about the rewards or the accolades. It was about survival. It was about proving to yourself that you could weather the storm when no one else would stand with you. When you closed that game, you burned every bridge to the past, and that's where most people get stuck. They can't let go. They can't burn those bridges. They cling to the comfort of yesterday, the false promises of a world that offers them an easy way out. But not you. You've already moved past that. What awaits you now is the next phase of your evolution. You are no longer the person who doubts their ability, who hesitates at the precipice of greatness. You've left that version of yourself behind, and in doing so, you've opened yourself to the limitless possibilities that lie before you. You may not see them yet. You may not even feel ready for them, but know this: the universe is watching, and it knows that you are ready for whatever comes next. It's not about waiting for things to fall into place. It's about being willing to make the hard decisions, even when they seem impossible. When you closed that game, you made the hardest decision of all, to move forward, no matter the cost. And now, you have to live with that choice. But don't think for a second that this journey will be easy. The moment you step into the arena, the moment you begin to walk down this path, the world will test you in ways you never imagined. It will throw obstacles in your way. It will attempt to break you. People will challenge you. They will try to tear you down, tell you that you made the wrong choice, that the game is still open, that you can always start again. They will tell you that it's never too late, that you can fix things, that you can reset everything. And you must resist this. You must refuse to let the words of others influence your actions, because you know the truth. You know that once the game is closed, there is no going back. And those who refuse to accept this truth, they will be left behind. They will be stuck in the same endless loop, going nowhere. Their lives will be defined by their fear of closure, their inability to move forward. But not you. Not anymore. You've chosen to embrace the harsh reality that there are no second chances. There is no pause button. There is no resetting the game. What you have now is the present, and that is the only thing that matters. The weight of this truth will weigh heavily on your shoulders. Every step you take from this moment forward will carry the burden of the choice you've made. You will no longer be able to hide from the consequences of your decisions. Every move you make must be calculated. Every action must be deliberate. You will be tested at every turn. But in that testing, in that pressure, you will find your true strength. You will find your true purpose. You will learn that the only way forward is through the fire, through the struggle, through the pain. That is where growth happens. That is where greatness is forged. Now, some of you might be wondering, how do I keep going when everything seems so uncertain? How do I stay strong when it feels like the entire world is pushing me to quit? The answer lies within you. It lies in the very decision you made to close the game. Because that decision was not just about walking away from the past, it was about walking towards something greater. You have chosen to face the unknown, to take on the challenges ahead, with the knowledge that you are capable of handling them. This is not a path for the faint of heart. This is not a path for those who seek comfort. This is a path for warriors, for those who understand that the only way to win is to keep moving forward, no matter the cost. So, what's next? What happens now that you've closed the game? The answer is simple. You rise. You rise higher than ever before. You embrace the challenges that come your way, and you conquer them. You don't run from the pain. You don't hide from the fear. You stand tall. You face the darkness, and you charge through it. You make the impossible possible. You shatter every limitation that others have placed on you. You redefine what success looks like, not by the world's standards, but by your own. And as you rise, you will leave behind a trail of destruction. You will leave behind the remnants of those who couldn't keep up, those who failed to close the game. You will leave behind the doubts, the fears, the naysayers, and you will stand alone, but not in isolation. You will stand as the embodiment of everything they could never be. You will stand as a testament to the fact that you had the courage to do what they couldn't. And that is what makes you dangerous. That is what makes you unstoppable. The truth is, closing the game was just the beginning. You've set in motion a chain of events that will shape the rest of your life. You've opened a door to a world that only a few will ever get to see. And now, you must walk through it, fully aware of the challenges, fully aware of the sacrifices, but also fully aware of the greatness that lies on the other side. You are no longer the person you were yesterday. You are someone new, someone stronger, someone who understands that the journey ahead will not be easy, but will be worth every ounce of pain, every ounce of sacrifice. So don't stop now. Keep moving forward. Keep pushing. Keep fighting. Because the moment you close the game, you were destined for something greater. And now, it's time to claim that destiny. The world is yours. Keep fighting. Keep rising. And never forget, you closed the game. Now, they can't restart. That's the truth. And let that truth sink in. You've made it. The door's closed. The game is over. And for those who couldn't make it, there's no going back. No redo. No starting over. They are stuck with the consequences of their choices, forever haunted by the fact that they missed their moment. But here's the thing about closing the game, about making the decision to move forward when everyone else is frozen in fear. The fact that they can't restart doesn't mean they've given up. It means they've learned the truth of what it takes to make it. And that truth is now staring them in the face. They'll sit in their failure and bitterness, thinking about what could have been. But for you, this is not a time for reflection, not a time for regret, not a time for looking back. The game has been closed, and there is no turning back. You don't get to go back to what was. You've had to make your choices, and now you live with them. The strength it took to lock that door, to close that chapter, is not something everyone possesses. But you always knew you could handle it. You always knew that the moment you walked away from what everyone else thought was the right path, you would be one step ahead. Think about what you've done. Think about the risk you took when you closed that door. You made a choice that others were too afraid to make. You took a step that others could only dream about. And now, you stand alone on the other side of it, knowing that there's no going back. You can't rewind the clock. You can't retrace your steps and undo the choice you made. You can't try to play it safe or find another option. The stakes were high, and now it's all on you. And here's the other truth. It's always been all on you. While the world is busy pointing fingers, trying to assign blame or find ways to blame others, you've always known that it was your decisions that would lead you to this place. The path you've taken isn't for everyone, and it was never meant to be. It's a path that only those who can handle the weight of their own destiny, the power of their own choices, can walk. And here you are. But let's face it, you didn't just close the game. You did it with intent. You did it with power. You did it because you knew what had to be done to take your future in your hands and make it your own. Those who are watching, those who still think they can restart, still believe they can reclaim what they lost, let them think what they want. But understand this, the moment they missed the opportunity to walk with you, The moment they stayed stuck in indecision or fear, they sealed their fate. And here's the brutal truth that many refuse to accept. Your time is now. They missed it. They will always wonder what could have been. They will sit in their regret and their self-doubt while you walk ahead, leaving them behind. And here's what sets you apart. This isn't something you've done by accident. You've known all along that you would be the one to make the hard choices. You've known all along that you would be the one who was willing to leave the past behind and look ahead with nothing but purpose and fire. The fact that you closed the game didn't come from a place of fear. It came from a place of power. When you closed the game, you didn't just close a chapter of your life. You closed off a path that would have led you nowhere. It wasn't the game you wanted to play, and you knew it. You had enough self-awareness to know that what everyone else was doing was never going to be enough. They were waiting for something, hoping for something that would make it easier. They were holding out for an escape, a chance to hit the reset button. And you knew that there was no reset. There's no easy way out. This was the moment of reckoning, and you were the one who stared it in the face and said, I am ready for what comes next. There was no hesitation, no turning back. You made the decision to walk away from the comfort zone, from the past, and from the illusion of a second chance. You understood that the world doesn't wait. The world doesn't pause for anyone. The world only rewards those who keep moving forward, who keep playing the game of life at full speed. You're not here for the slow, comfortable pace. You're here for the grind, for the struggle, for the endless battle that only the strong can survive. And yes, I know the challenges are coming. They always come. Life will throw more obstacles your way. People will try to pull you back into the world that they live in, a world of excuses and indecision, a world where nothing ever changes. But you've already closed the door on that world, and you'll never open it again. You've set yourself apart. You've made the ultimate choice. And now, you get to live with the consequences of that choice. But here's the twist. While everyone else is still stuck in the loop of trying to make things right, of trying to find a way to go back to the past and make it all work, you're the one moving forward. You're the one with the vision to see beyond the struggle, beyond the pain, beyond the mess. You are the one who understands that the price of greatness is paid every single day. It's paid in sweat. It's paid in sacrifice. It's paid in the unrelenting drive to do what others won't, to stand where others can't. The beauty of this journey is that you will continue to grow, continue to evolve, continue to break down barriers that others can only dream of crossing. But they'll still be back there, frozen in their past, clinging to their fear, wishing they could restart. And you'll be long gone, blazing a trail that they will never understand. The game is over for them, but it's just beginning for you. But as you walk forward, don't get distracted by the noise. Don't get distracted by the doubts of others. Don't get distracted by the voices telling you that it's too late for you, that the game is over for you too. Those voices are just remnants of the past. They're echoes from the world you've already left behind, the world that is too scared to close the door and move on. You are not like them. You are not defined by the game you've closed. You are defined by the choices you make now, the actions you take in the future, the person you are becoming every single day. The fact that they can't restart is the greatest gift you've given yourself. You've taken control of your destiny. And when you do that, there is nothing anyone can say or do to hold you back. So here's the question. What will you do with this newfound power? What will you do with the fact that they can't reset, that they can't change their decisions, that they are forever stuck in the past? The answer is simple. You keep moving forward. You keep climbing. You keep proving that closing the game was the greatest choice you ever made. You take every challenge, every obstacle, and use it to build the version of yourself that no one ever saw coming. And as you rise, you will become unstoppable. You will become something they cannot fathom. You will become the embodiment of everything they wished they could be. You will walk a path that few dare to follow, but it is yours. And no one can take that away from you. Remember this, always. You close the game. Now, they can't restart. And that means the world is yours for the taking. Keep your eyes on the prize and never look back. The game is closed, and it's your time to shine. In closing, remember this. You've made a choice that most would never dare to make. You've closed the game, leaving behind the safety of familiarity and the illusion of second chances. What lies ahead is yours to conquer. The world will try to pull you back, but you've already burned the bridges to your past. You are unstoppable now, defined by your decisions, your courage, and your relentless drive. Keep moving forward, for there is no reset, no going back. This is your moment. Own it and let nothing stand in your way.